Hey friends, it's UrsulasRevenge, and welcome back to Star Stable. Today we have another requested guide, so thank you for your comment. And in today's guide, we are going to be talking all about archaeology. Now, when I started setting out to actually put together this video and doing all of my research, I was originally going to have one video for both Dino Valley and Epona, except that there's a lot of information, and it's kind of hard to find a really thorough guide. Some of the information is either outdated or just missing, so I'm going to do my best to put as much information as you need in these videos, because it's going to be a series. Today we're just going to be talking about Dino Valley, and in the next guide I will talk all about Epona. We're going to talk all about how to unlock the different areas, what the requirements are to unlock archaeology, as well as what to do once you actually do. There will be timestamps in the description, and you will see the little chapters in the video itself, so let's get started. First up, to unlock Dino Valley archaeology, you have to unlock Dino Valley. To do that, it is a level requirement of 15. You need to be liked with Valedale. You have to complete Nick Stoneground's quest in the Everwind Fields, titled The Famous Adventurer. That's the quest where you talk to him and he goes and flies off in his balloon saying he's going on an adventure to, I think he actually says Dino Valley at that point. Once you do all of that, Elizabeth is going to have a quest for you in Valedale titled Wall of Ice. In that quest, she is going to have you inspect the wall of ice at the top of the hill. You're going to report back that it is thawing, and she's going to send you on an adventure. From there, you're going to repair the elevator and continue down the path to Nick, and you're going to do all of his quests, and eventually it's going to unlock a reputation. Along his quest line, you're going to hear a sound effect, if you have the sounds on, that's like a helicopter crash, which is going to unlock quests with another NPC. You're going to go investigate the helicopter crash, and it's going to lead you to an NPC named Elsa Einstein. Doing her quests and Nick's together will unlock a sort of reputation quest. It's kind of adjacent. There's going to be a little progress bar at the top that has different chapters because you're going to be building up the camp. There are multiple levels of building up the camp, but once you finish level 2 and you start doing the quest to start working in level 3, it's going to unlock quests with Ed Field at Wolf Hall Inn, plus a second shopkeeper who sells food. You have to do all of these quests, but the important ones to focus on are the Ed Field quests, because it'll eventually lead to meeting an NPC named Frank Einstein, and he's going to be the one who eventually teaches you archaeology. Pretty much the name of the game is just doing all of the yellow exclamation quests that you can do in Dino Valley. They will progress into other quests and other quests until you finally unlock Frank Einstein's quests. He will introduce you to another NPC named Harley, and then another NPC in Fir Grove. But the main takeaway is that Frank Einstein is going to give you the tutorials on how to actually do the fossils. And after you do all that, you're kind of on your own, which brings us to the next chapter, how archaeology works. So generally with archaeology, you are going to be looking for these types of rocks all around the map. There are specific coordinates that these rocks appear in, but you might not be able to mine all of them every single day. You'll see the rocks appear in 3 different states. The first one is with nothing, you can't do anything with this rock, it's not active. The second one, you'll see little crystals start to form on the rocks. I think they're supposed to be more bluish, but because of the colors in Dino Valley, they just look more rock colored. These ones will give you fossil finds, depending on where on the map you are. And the third type of rock is another activated rock, but with orange crystals. These ones are unique as they will give you extra interesting finds. We'll talk about those in a minute. First, let's talk about the blue or grayish activated fossils. So while you will find all of these fossils on very specific coordinates on the map, depending on where they are, sometimes depends on what you get from them. While the mechanics for archaeology for both Dino Valley and Epona are the same, there are some benefits to the Epona archaeology side that is just not quite as good for the Dino Valley archaeology. We're going to talk more about Epona in another video, but unfortunately, in order to even get there, you have to do Dino Valley archaeology first. From these blue fossils, the items of interest you are looking for belong to different colored fossil sets. There is the yellow fossil set, which is the mystical dinosaur, the blue fossil set, which is the unusual dinosaur, the green fossil set, which is the small dinosaur, and the red fossil set, that is the spectacular dinosaur. There will be 4 types of bones that you can get total, and you'll need a different amount of each of those bones later on. In addition to these fossil types, you'll also get different kinds of items. Sometimes you'll get like fossil trash, that you can just sell. Other times you'll get more expensive items that are essentially only good for selling. For the most part, from the blue fossils, like I said, you're just looking for the dinosaur bones, you can sell everything else. Now, as far as which color fossil you get, depends on where you're digging. Each section of the map will have fossils of one color. Here's a map that I put together with the color breakdowns. You'll see that there's some overlap. As far as I'm aware, the colors that they are marked on this map is the only colors you should get from those fossils. There is an older map that shows overlapping sections, but I think that it might have just been a stylistic choice why they did it that way, because you'll see, like, especially in the yellow and blue section, they kind of overlap. But as far as I've seen, I've only ever gotten blue fossils from the ones I've marked blue and yellow ones from the ones I've marked yellow. Me and my friend Apple, shout out Apple, Kid Apple Castle, thank you so much for your help with this. We went around and we mapped out all of the fossil locations and what we think the best optimal route is, or at least a comfortable route for each of the color sections. Dino Valley is a little bit different from Epona because of the way that the sections are broken out, where they overlap a little bit. So I've broken them down by doing color section by color section by color section versus just doing like a full loop of all of Dino Valley. It's easier for me to think in smaller sections than to just go ham and find them all at once. I have seen on YouTube there are other videos of people sharing their paths for all of the fossils at once versus individual colors, but like I said, I thought that it was helpful to have individual color breakdowns. So this is the order of the coordinates I would find for each color. I am planning to do a tour of all these fossil locations to actually physically show you in the game how to navigate to these in this order, but that will come towards the end of this guide series. In the meantime though, I recommend this coordinate order for each color. Some things to note though, while each of these coordinates will contain a rock, they may not always be glowing or mineable. And also, you might not always get the color fossil that you need. Again, sometimes you'll just get fossil trash that can be sold. Once per day in each of these sections though, you will get one of the orange extra interesting fossils. And they are exclusive once per section per day. So each day you'll have a total of 4 extra interesting finds in Dino Valley. What's special about these extra interesting finds is that the items with the purple border can be traded in to Harley for extra rewards. Things like outfit and tack sets. Actually, the pants that I'm wearing are from the Dino Valley extra interesting reward set. I'm pretty sure it's just a pool of random rewards, and every time you turn in an extra interesting, you have a random chance of getting one of those rewards. I've gotten duplicates, and I also know that I have not completed the set yet. I'm going to say again, this is one of the areas where Epona is much better than Dino Valley as far as archaeology goes. The extra interesting system for Dino Valley is not as good. While the trading in and getting random items is essentially the same, the amount of items you have to turn in is not as good. For example, for one reward, you would have to turn in either 7 cell phones, 4 unusual gold coins, 5 statuettes, or 3 action figures, versus Epona where it's 1 or 2 items. The other downside to Dino Valley extra interesting finds is you might not get one of the purple outlined extra interesting finds, one of those 4 items, the cell phones, the gold coins, the statuettes, or the action figures. You also get sometimes extra interesting trash. For example, yesterday when I did this, I got 1 statuette and 1 cell phone, but 2 treasure maps that sold for 75 gold each. For Epona Archaeology, you will always get one of the trade-in items. So you will guaranteed get 4 trade-in items a day, but Dino Valley, you're not guaranteed to get 1. You could get 4 extra interesting trashes if you're really unlucky. On the flip side though, you can sometimes get multiple extra interesting items in the Dino Valley fossils. So for example, you might get 3 statuettes or 2 cell phones, but you might just also get 1 cell phone. It's a lot of RNG. It's also worth noting at this point that once you collect your fossils for the day, all of the blue ones will respawn in about 10-15 minutes. I'm not sure the actual time, but there is a chance that they will respawn in a couple of minutes. So you could theoretically do your loop, finish all 4 colors, and then do the loop again, and you'll have more things to uncover and dig up. The only thing that does not apply to you again is the extra interesting orange fossils, because again, those are once per day, per section. So once you have dug up everything that you want to dig up, you've gotten all your fossils, you're ready to turn them in, you've gotten some extra interestings, there are 2 NPCs you should be familiar with because those are the ones you will be trading with. For the extra interesting finds, you will go over to Nick Stoneground's camp and talk to Harley. He will be who you trade in your, specifically, the extra interesting purple outlined items in exchange for exclusive clothing items. Any duplicates you get can be sold like normal. And for your complete fossil sets, you are going to trek all the way to Fir Grove and talk to Professor Jura. Now, Professor Jura is going to take your dinosaur fossils, but he needs specific amounts of each item within the fossil. Here's the item breakdown. For your green small dinosaur, you need 1 skull, 6 ribs, 2 small bones, and 5 large bones. For your blue unusual dinosaur, you need 1 skull, 14 ribs, 2 small bones, and 2 large bones. For your yellow mysterious dinosaur, you need 1 skull, 4 ribs, 4 small bones, and 12 large bones. And for your red spectacular dinosaur, you need 2 skulls, 12 ribs, 8 small bones, and 10 large bones. So there are varying degrees of difficulty within these fossil sets themselves, but you will need to complete this set at least once. This is one of those things that I'm still testing out. In order to actually do my research for this video, I had to level up a second account to get to this point, and I'm kind of still going through it because the process is much longer than I recall. And honestly, they've also made it a lot easier since then because they took out a couple of the time stops. So just bear in mind when you go to do archaeology, it's gonna be a process. It's a long one at that. It's enjoyable, I'll say, but it's just a long process. I know on my main account I have completed all 4 fossil sets. From what I recall on my own account, and keep in mind I completed archaeology on this account a couple years ago, I could have sworn that I had to unlock 1 of each fossil set with Professor Jura in order to unlock Epona's archaeology. But in talking with some of my friends, you may not need to complete all 4, but just a handful of them. Hopefully by the time I edit this, I will have the actual answer, in which case I'll put it here. As far as rewards go, here is the list of clothing items that you can get from either Professor Jura or Harley. As you can see, I do have 3 items that are unconfirmed. I know that one of them gives you these, I just don't know who between the 2 of them. I included my best guesses as to who gives you what, but just with how random the rewards are, I haven't been able to actually receive those items from them to confirm it. Professor Jura can also give you the extra interesting finds that you trade in with Harley, as well as extra interesting trash, and Harley will again give you outfits or extra interesting trash. Now, aside from actually showing you the path of which I collect my fossils, I think that is everything you'll need to know of how to complete Dino Valley archaeology. I'm trying to keep these videos short and sweet because I know that long guides can be, well, long. Next up on our guide trail is Epona archaeology, so stay tuned for that video. If you have any additional questions about archaeology, make sure to leave them in the comments. I will be answering them as much as I can, and if necessary, I'll do a follow-up video. But I think I've pretty much covered everything. Hopefully, you'll be able to finish up archaeology and get to the good one soon. So thank you so much for watching this video. If you enjoyed it, make sure to leave a like, subscribe, and turn on the notification bell so you never miss another video like this. I do try to cover every Wednesday update and more. After I finish the Epona archaeology guide, if there is another guide you would like me to do, make sure to leave that in the comments as well, and I will see you all in the next video. Bye!